My answer is no. I don't think the market's going to be crashing anytime soon. I don't think the market has already crashed. And that's it. That's the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for... No, I'm joking. Welcome back to another week's episode of Closed by Mo. My name is Mohammed. I'm hopefully your favorite YouTube host on all things real estate. I'm also a real estate investor and a realtor based out of the Empire State of New York. And I would like to officially say that I don't think the market's crashing anytime soon. I don't think the market has already crashed. What I do believe is we are in a correction phase, which I'll go into a little bit more in detail about in this video. But I'd like to pause before doing anything and explain that the Federal Reserve is going to keep increasing interest rates until inflation has come back down to normal levels, which is around that 2% mark. I go into it a lot more depth in this video if you want to understand why it's happening, but a quick 30-second overview. COVID-19, we were afraid the economy was going to shut down. More than $2 trillion into the economy. Interest rates were slashed. Everyone had extra monies. We were all spending it. Economy kept going. And now we're feeling the side effects of that, and now we want to curb that in. A lot of the data that I'm going to be citing is from a company called Black Knight Research. They are a publicly traded data company that focuses on real estate, so all things regarding real estate demand, mortgage interest rates, mortgage delinquencies, home affordability, things like that are going to be in their report, which I will also post in the description of this video. So without further ado, let's jump into some of the quick facts from this report, and I hope I make it easy enough for everyone to digest, and maybe you'll be a better, more educated viewer after this. Now, looking at month-over-month home price growth rate, let's go back to the start of 2022 before the Federal Reserve started to graciously increase the interest rates on us. The growth rate was almost 30 times the long-term average. Like, that's exponential. Like, that's remarkably high, right? It was only after rates started to rise, interest rates started to rise, did the growth rate, the home price growth rate, steadily decline, with ending July 2022 at like negative 0.77%, which is pretty interesting because typically in July, in the summer months, you'll see a small uptick around half a percentage mark. So a negative is really remarkable. As a matter of fact, July 2022 was the single largest drop in home price history since January 2011. So in over a decade, it's been the largest drop. Right? Although prices are dropping, home prices today, this year, are still 15% more than where they were last year, right? Which is a really good thing if you're a homeowner. As a matter of fact, homeowners now have more equity than they've ever had. So they're less leveraged than they've ever been in recorded history, which is a really good thing. It means if you're a homeowner, you have more equity in your home than you've ever had, even though interest rates are rising and you might be skeptical about listing. If you've owned your home for the last several years, you'd probably still walk out with an overall net profit after selling the home. That being said, though, the market is definitely turning into a buyer's market with record high interest rates, inventories, increasing, and demand being destroyed. The timeline, the average timeline it's taking for the average inventory to be absorbed by the market demand is pushing that 6-month territory, which is a good sign if you're a buyer, right? The market's turning in your favor. This sounds all very severe and everything, especially the headlines that you might read on the news. And I think a lot of that panic comes from, still remembering the 2008 crisis, the Great Recession, where home prices dropped more than 30% over the course of like 3 years. That's not what's happening. This is a correction. Even Moody's Analytics predicts that home prices will probably continue to drop by another maybe around 5% or so as we go through this interest rate hike period, or this recession, whatever you want to call it. Now, whatever it means for you as an agent, as a buyer, as a seller, I think it's officially a buyer's market. You're going to be facing less competition. Home sellers are going to be more eager to accept your offer. I will acknowledge, though, it's definitely more expensive now to buy your home or to get a mortgage than it was a couple of years ago or even 6 months ago. To the sellers out here that are watching this video, it's just going to be a difficult time for you to sell, right? You're going to have a little bit more harder time. People aren't just going to start making offers without looking at the house that they were maybe 6 months ago or 12 months ago. Now your listing agent actually has to put in work. Shocking, I know. Anyone who's a homeowner as well, if you're not able to sell, more likely than not, if you do end up buying somewhere else, you'll become a landlord, and anyone that's unable to buy will probably become a tenant, which is actually pretty good thing, right? I've heard of stories where tenants have started bidding wars to, be able to lease out an apartment or lease out a place. So I think the rising inventory in terms of homeowners that, maybe weren't able to sell the price they wanted to sell and decided to rent out their space will definitely positively affect the inventory levels, and maybe we'll see some calming down in the rental market. With that being said, though, guys, I hope you found this video informative, and hopefully you're able to share it with any of your clients or any of your friends in your network. Please drop a like and subscribe. It definitely helps a lot to the channel. I appreciate it, and I will see you guys next week. Thank you so much. Bye.